Uh-oh. It seems that Bungie and Activision have a Destiny 2 player base problem as users are dropping the game at an alarming rate. How worried is Bungie, and what can they do about it? What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And really quickly, if you missed my last video, we had a potential leak of the original Xbox backwards compatibility games that will launch on Xbox One this year. Some fan favorites were in there, such as Knights of the Old Republic and Dead to Rights and Ninja Gaiden Black. Check out the video if you want to learn more about what games might be coming to back compat later this year. But on to the topic at hand. It's about Destiny 2, a game which I enjoyed a lot more than Destiny 1, but I was looking for a 50-60 hour experience. I wasn't looking for a 500 hour or 1,000 hour or a 3,000 hour experience like a lot of the Destiny hardcore people out there and a lot of my friends that were looking for that. I got what I wanted, and I left the game because that's all I was looking for. I have tons of friends who have put 5,000 hours into Destiny 1, who after the honeymoon phase was over with Destiny 2, have all stopped playing the game. And the reason they stopped playing the game is because once you do the raid a couple times, once you dabble around in Iron Banner and the other PvP mode that people really like, Trials of Osiris, and once you hit that light level 305 on your one character and then maybe your 3 characters if you're that hardcore, there is literally nothing left to do in the game. There's no god roll weapons to go after. It's all just cosmetic nonsense, right? And everybody he's left. And we can tell that because Destiny Tracker tracks these things. So there's an article here saying that Destiny 2's player base has dropped by over 2 million users since launch. That is a staggering number of people to lose in a short 6 weeks. So they combined the users, and it was peaked at 3.5 million users on September 16th, which is an average of the PvE and PvP players, and it's been dropping ever since. The last 2 days alone, they've lost 400,000 players, and now it sits at about an average of 1.5 million users on October 19th, which is a full 2 million users less than just a month ago. And you can go to destinytracker.com and check this out for yourself. And you can see the peaks and the valleys, but it just keeps on dropping. In fact, so much so that yesterday only 881,000 people logged on to play PvP and only 1.8 million people logged on to play PvE. So it is dropping really fast, really quickly, and there's no help in sight. You know, there's no new raid to play anytime soon. There's no new multiplayer events. There's no new events to do of any kind. People have played the raid. They've done the prestige raid. You know, they've done everything the game has to offer, and that's it. There's no more reason to play Destiny. So what are people to do? Now, if you compare Destiny's trajectory to some of the Call of Duty games from Activision, it even paints a more terrible situation for Destiny 2. So it says here, Destiny 2 has lost 78% of its players in 6 weeks. The Call of Duty games took 6 months to see the same drop. So this user on Reddit's comparing Call of Duty Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and Call of Duty Ghosts. And he says that this is not weeks, this is months. And the 4 releases of Call of Duty shown each saw about an 80% drop-off about 6 months after release, with a somewhat similar slope for PvP. Now, as we saw on Destiny Tracker, it seems the majority of people playing are PvE players, not necessarily PvP. And as we know, most people, well, majority of people are playing the multiplayer in Call of Duty 6 months after release and not the multiplayer. You know, he goes on to say that No Man's Sky, and I remember this, it dropped 80% in 1 week after the game came out. So Destiny 2 is not definitely as bad as it could be for player retention, but this is still shocking to see. Destiny 2 was one of the biggest games to come out this year, and even though it seems like it sold well initially, not as well as Destiny 1, but I didn't ever think it would. It seems people are just dropping the game because for the hardcore, there is nothing to really do. And I gotta say, I think Bungie and I think Activision are extremely worried. They tied in the Eververse more than ever in this game, although it's very cosmetic stuff, not really needed. I think the biggest issue a lot of the hardcore people have with the game is there's nothing left to do. I know a lot of people praise them for getting rid of the random weapon perks. That once you get a gun, the perks around it the same for everybody. But for a lot of players, a lot of Destiny players, they continued to grind in Destiny 1 to get that god rolled gun. And I feel that a lot of hardcore Destiny players kept on playing it to get that roll, and once that was taken away from them in Destiny 2, and they had everything they wanted, and they've done everything that the game has given to them, they just decided to be like, well, I'm wasting my time, there's nothing more here to do. And I mean, who's to fault them from that? I have friends who, like I said at the beginning, have 5,000 hours in the game who don't even touch it anymore. And these are people that would play Destiny 1 for hundreds of hours, 6, 7, 8 months after the release of the game. And they're already done with Destiny 2. And this speaks to a big problem, because this is their 10-year plan. This is their big franchise. And to see this kind of drop-off has got to be really worrying for Bungie. And yeah, we have a DLC coming in a couple months. It's something to do with Osiris, but as far as I know, the leaks have it as there's not going to be a raid, right? People love the raid, but there's no reason to even do the Prestige raid that just came out this past week, because it's just cosmetic stuff. People want tangible things. People want armor. People want new weapons. They don't want glow on their character or different skins. And that's all it really seems that Destiny 2 is. And I know they just announced seasons in Destiny 2, right? And it seems like they're really going after the cosmetic stuff. So all the kind of cosmetics in the game right now and the ships and stuff, if you want those, you have to get them now, because in Season 2, it'll be a whole new bunch of stuff, and that goes away in Season 3. So they really are seemingly to double down on this shader stuff, the ship stuff, and all that stuff, where I think a lot of the core Destiny people just wanted, more content, more guns to go after, more exotics to chase after, god-rolled weapons. And because it's not there, there's no reason to play the game anymore. So Bungie and Activision are going to have to get back into, the drawing board, figure out what exactly to do with this game before this just falls even further down, with Call of Duty World War II coming out in a couple weeks, with Wolfenstein coming out, with Assassin's Creed coming out, with Star Wars Battlefront 2 coming out, with PUBG coming out on console, PUBG already out on PC. There are multiplayer games that are ready and they're waiting. You got Overwatch, you got Rainbow Six. They're all out there ready and waiting to take players from Destiny 2 if Activision and Bungie aren't going to give the players what they want, and that is longevity. That is a reason to play Destiny 2 over those other games. And I find it funny myself, being on the outside looking in, as someone who didn't like Destiny 1 but enjoyed Destiny 2 more, to see all my friends basically shun the game because they all have the same complaint. There is nothing to do anymore. Granted, they all spent about 200 hours, 300 hours in the first 2 weeks playing the game nonstop because they were in love. And then once that honeymoon phase was over, then they got to see what the game was truly about. And one by one, each of them logged off the game and said, I have no reason to play this anymore. I have no reason to play this. I have no reason to play this. And you can tell that PvP's really taken a hit, how far it's fallen, because the consensus is the PvP in this game is absolutely terrible. Nobody really likes the change to 4v4. Nobody likes the changes to Iron Banner. And nobody really likes the changes to Trial of Osiris. Nobody just seems to like anything about Destiny 2, to be honest with you. You know, the hardcore, the ones that love Destiny 1, are just exasperated with the changes for this game that they feel are for the worse. So, man, Bungie, you got quite some work cut out for you, you know? I mean, the PC version will help raise the player base a little bit. The DLC that will come out in a couple months will help as users come to maybe check out the new missions and things like that. But they'll quickly leave right again when there's no weapons to get, when there's no armor to get, or when they have all the armor and the weapons to get, basically. They'll leave again. And then they're going to be waiting for the next proper DLC with the raid. And what then? Once they have everything, you need to do something. And I wouldn't be surprised if they put random rolls back into the game to entice people to keep on playing so they can search for that god-rolled weapon that they're looking for. But honestly, I think people just want a reason to play Destiny 2. People like Destiny 2. They just have no purpose for playing it anymore. And that's kind of a shame. Anyways, guys, that is the video. Let me know what you think about Destiny 2 in the comments below. Are you shocked that users are abandoning the game this fast? Are you one of those hardcore players from Destiny 1 that has given up on the game because there's nothing left to get? Or are you someone like me who is only looking for about a 60-hour experience and you're happy with what you got? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure if you enjoyed the video to hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more content. Hit the notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I will see everybody tomorrow with some new stuff. Later, guys.